Hey, everybody, welcome back. Nathan McSham with you here. This is something a little bit unusual, something different. Got Andrew in the house, DHCW in the house, ICW in the house. Got a lot of initials there. It's alphabet soup. Hope everybody's doing well. So, this is something I've been kind of working through my own mind on for a little while now, and it's just kind of connecting the dots at this point in time. It's not a big secret to anybody that's watched the YouTube channel that I have some pretty strong political opinions on things, but I also understand that people tend to watch this stuff on YouTube more for a sense of entertainment and to get away from maybe the day-to-day stuff. And I know how I feel when I'm watching, well, I stopped watching all sports except for wrestling. But if I was watching a damn TV show, whatever it is, and they started using their platform to throw all this other stuff in my face that I'm really not in the mood for today, then I tend not to watch it as much. So what I thought is I was going to make a totally separate animal, but I don't want to do it on YouTube because YouTube sucks for freedom. So I have been looking into Rumble. I've talked to a few people that use Rumble, and it appears to be a much better platform for speaking your mind on things. So I am starting up a channel over there, which is going to be called Amendment 1, and you can see the clever spelling of the word one there. It's going to be about not just things in politics, but things happening in the world, stories that you hear about, or maybe you haven't heard about. And that's the thing. Maybe I watch too much information sometimes, but I don't like the way things are changing, not just in the United States anymore, around the world. But I wanted to have a separate outlet for that. This way you can make a conscious choice as to whether or not you want to hear about these things or not. And then the YouTube thing will stick to strictly wrestling. And I will do my very best to try to not dabble in this end of things. So one of the things I just found out about Rumble, though, is you can't do a live stream unless you have at least 5 followers. I don't think that'll be a big problem. We've got a pretty good community here, and I know a lot of you do have opinions. The difference between this and a lot of other similar styles is it's always going to be open forum. So I've already posted the links up above if anybody wants to jump on right now. All you got to do is click the link. You'll be in the green room. I'll see you. I can bring you in. We're asking and actually demanding that everybody is respectful of one another. I don't care if you have completely different opinions than me. That's perfectly fine. We will have this place to discuss these different topics and to have a discussion. Not going to be yelling, not going to be disrespectful. Anyone who can't play by the rules will be gone. It's that simple. So if I can maintain my composure, then I expect everyone else can do the same. But I do think it's important. We have right now way too many things going on where people are just yelling, screaming, and trying to tear everything down, which is what Big Brother wants. This is all by design. Yeah, there's the fact that we have the most divisive nation in our country's history. It is a need in order to gain an end result. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to try and do something about. I want us to be able to talk instead of yelling and screaming at each other and all kinds of things. And while I may never change somebody else's opinion, and they may never change mine, the thought is that we're going to at least hear each other and might take some aspect of their point of view and at least be able to incorporate that and have an understanding of where they're coming from. Might not agree with it, but at least there'll be some sense of understanding as opposed to just this real ugliness that's out there right now. So that's kind of where this thing's going. Neil can't have a quick temper. Look, it's going to be emotional stuff. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I was just watching something and it got me. And it wasn't in this country. It was in Ireland. And I'll be grabbing these videos so that when we do these shows, I'll be able to actually post them up there and you'll see what I saw and then we can talk about it, that kind of thing. But the folks that have been, I'm going to say, infiltrating over there, I'm assuming everything on the video is accurate. And that's why I like this, because we have folks from Ireland that watch this channel. We got folks from the UK in general that watch this channel. And I prefer to talk to people who are actually there than get my news from the news. Because if we haven't learned anything by this point in time, the news is as corrupt and dirty as it gets. They are all owned and operated and bought and paid for. There was a point in history where I believed Fox was as close to independent as you could get, but clearly that's not the case anymore. I stopped watching them on election night based on what they pulled on that, and now they've only gone further down the rabbit hole to prove that they are just like CNN all over again. So I would rather get direct from the sources, people that live in this country, even in different states, when I see things are happening in wherever, California, for example, although there's nobody left in California. They've all left now. What's his name? Scott Baio just made it official. He's moving out of California. I think he's the last Hollywood. There's a lot of them leaving too, and that's one of the subjects on my list of things that I want us to be able to have open discussions about and things like that. But again, I prefer to get it directly from the folks that are actually there, as opposed to what the news is telling me is happening. If you guys want to jump on right now and be part of this conversation, feel free. That's the link. Just click on it and you'll be thrown into the conversation pool here. So far as helping me out get to the 5 follower count, hold on. I can get this thing to cooperate. If you would be so kind as to jump on that link and just click the follow button, and then all of these programs moving forward will be over there. I still have to figure out if I can still use StreamYard with their app. I'm sure you probably can, but Rumble's a new thing for me, and I'm going to be learning it as I go. Yeah, in the meantime, you guys all seem like you're having a good day, which is great. Chuck's in the house. Juan Cordero's in there. Cool to see everybody. So for the purposes of the fact that we are on YouTube right now, we can talk wrestling if you want. I just wanted to make sure I got this out here to this audience so those that are interested can bounce over and also be aware of that outlet as well. Today is Friday, right? Friday. SmackDown night. Impact was not bad last night. There were a few different spots that I thought were good. A couple that were I wasn't blown away with Trinity's anything. I mean, I'm glad to have her there. But I didn't think the big debut was all it was built up to be honest with you. I didn't think she was great on the mic. And just the whole way it went down, it was okay. It just wasn't what I was expecting for as much as they built it up. I don't think they should have built it up that much. I think it would have been a much better thing if she was just a surprise and you should have saved her for a pay-per-view for that reason. But apparently they've got some surprises coming up for the pay-per-view, which is very soon. I forget. Like another week or so away. And then, of course, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow WWE is going to be in Puerto Rico. Harley Cameron? Who's Harley Cameron? I'm guessing it's a girl. Hold on. Here to be accurate. Wow. Who says money can't buy happiness? There's a lot of money going on there. Keep her away from the hot temperatures because she will melt. Chuck gonna join us here in the house, I think. There we go.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, I can't complain. Let's change this up a little bit. There we go.
I can't believe this is actually working for me. This is the first.
First time you've tried it?
Well, I've tried it several times, and it always says failure, contact us type of deal. This is the first time it's actually worked. I don't know why it's working.
It's just our lucky
Weird.
day, that's all. If you have My camera's sitting on top of the monitor. You might want to just nudge it down a little bit. It's cutting off half your face.
Oh,
There you go.
Sure.
Boom. So how you been, man? Good to finally see you. I mean, I've seen you in the chats a whole bunch, but it's always nice when you put a face.
I'm doing all right, I guess. You know, I'm sure you may have seen my update video about my health problems and stuff. So,
No, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
if you haven't, well, I got this. What do they call it? Lymphedema,
Okay, what's that?
and it's this swelling swells up real bad, and I have like this tumor growth that's pretty close to the size of a basketball, and it's on the inside of my leg, right next to my almost on top of my groin, almost. And yeah, almost the size of a basketball. It's probably more of a volleyball than a basketball,
Oh, that's still pretty freaking
but it's
big.
getting there. Yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty nasty looking and everything. And unfortunately, there's no cure for this lymphedema. One thing you can do is wear compression socks and keep your leg elevated. So
they can't remove it.
but my doctor says I got a good chance of getting. Well, my doctor says I got a good chance of getting disability. And once I get disability, I can get insurance. And once I get that all and get money and insurance going, then I'm going to go and have surgery and just have this tumor thing cut off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Now I'll still have to deal. I'll still have to deal with the leg being swollen and foot swollen and everything, but I can deal with that. I got a compression sock, and it helps, you know. But this growth tumor thing is it's really the main problem. I mean, it keeps me up at night. I don't sleep good, and
Oh man,
I don't walk good, and yeah.
well, I'm glad to have you on here.
But hey, yeah, I'm glad to be on here too. Finally.
Yeah, I remember you tried a couple times in the past when we were doing the whatchamacallit there, PWI thing.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna be doing.
Well, I filled out that deal today too.
What's that?
I filled that magazine thing out. I don't know what I did with the magazine, but I filled it out. I haven't sent it off yet.
We were talking about. Yeah, what the hell was that? The Independent or what
yeah, the IWA Mail Challenge, Mail-in Challenge. Yeah,
I'm stunned that they are still doing mail-in. I just can't imagine it. It's like AOC way back about 2 years ago. I forget what the issue was that she thought she was going to solve, but she did it by saying, "Hey, everybody, I'm thinking like we get like pen pals and we like write letters to each other and we do this," and everyone just like, "What?" When they can send an email, they're gonna really. So yeah, it's like, does anybody? It's like right now. Imagine going to the store and trying to pay by check. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Oh wait,
You ever seen anyone pull out a checkbook?
Me?
No, I'm saying, have you? Do you?
Yeah, I use a checkbook at the store.
No kidding, and they take it. I didn't think they take checks anymore.
Walmart,
Really?
Our local Brahms store. I use check almost everywhere.
What state are you in?
Oklahoma.
Man, I tell you, I mean, I have a checkbook, and the only thing I've ever used it for is to pay the guy who cuts my lawn. So my checkbooks last a long friggin' time. But now you got me wondering. I'm going to actually try and pay by check just to see if they're still doing it here. I haven't seen anyone use a check in so long. I just presume they stopped because it was so easy to fake.
I didn't know that.
Things. Well, and again, maybe just everybody's done like me, and I just pay everything on credit card and pay it off at the end of the month.
I do live in like a little town, one horse town. I mean, there's
Probably a higher
not
trust
much
factor
here going on. Yeah, probably.
around here. We're in
Somewhat.
Central Florida. We have so many immigrants and migrants and vagrants and every inch you can imagine.
Yeah, it's kind of like Lawton. Lawton's a rough place.
I hadn't heard of that one.
Well, I watched Impact last night.
You watched Impact last night. What'd you think?
I liked some of the matches, and some matches I just like, eh.
It felt pretty much the same.
I thought I thought the PCO match was really good.
Okay.
I thought the Sami Callahan match was kind of lame with them bringing out those guys in the yellow hoods and all that.
Yeah, I was a little surprised they went back to that again, but I mean, if something's going to come from it, and they usually do a good job of long-term writing, so that's why I'm kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt right now. But that's how we got Connor and or Khan as they call him now, and Alan Angels. These were guys that came out and attacked in yellow hoods, and then they took the hoods off, and boom, there they are. So if they're going to do that again, and there's a lot of rumor running around that there's some recognizable names that are going to be showing up as early as the pay-per-view. So maybe that's kind of a lead-in for something like that. Yeah, and it's hard to say where these people will go.
So it's kind of like the new Aces and Eights type of thing.
In its own kind of way, yeah. I guess you could liken it to that. What do you think of Trinity's promo spot?
I did not care for it. I don't know. There was. I don't know. I don't know because it's her first time there or what, but it just. I don't know. It wasn't like when she was on WWE.
No.
I didn't care for her costume look. I didn't care for her.
Oh God, that was
outfit
terrible.
that she had on.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I mean, it was not a good debut.
I didn't think so either. Okay, it's not just me then. I thought I was being too critical, maybe, but I can tell you one thing though. Having been on that ramp, she ain't gonna be doing that sliding entrance ever again.
No,
that ramp.
No, definitely not.
Well, it was interesting for her to make the debut, and I was happy to see Deonna come out and have face to face. I didn't think they needed to bring Jordan as well. I thought they could have just set the table that down the line it's going to be you and me and left it at that. I get why they did.
Yeah.
Jordan's changing her look up again.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
She's going with the straight hair. I preferred the curly myself. I just thought it was a better look for her face. So far as the shape and everything, I thought it complemented her better. Still a bad girl, though, I'll tell you that much.
I remember who matches were on Impact last. I can't remember the other matches. Must have been that stand up to me. What?
Yeah, I mean, I normally don't fast forward through their stuff, but I didn't have a lot of time. I had to get some sleep. I had to be up early this morning, and I wanted to see what she did. So I fast forwarded through a bunch of stuff that I'll go back and watch maybe later tonight while I let SmackDown get a head start so I don't have to sit through their commercials. But
yeah, I don't get to see SmackDown anymore.
Oh, you don't watch SmackDown?
They took our channels away. They took away the channel that it came on away, so I don't get to see it now. Yeah, I'm on satellite Dish Network.
Yeah, and they don't have Fox.
And then they were on Fox 18, and they took that channel away from us. I think Fox wanted more money or something, so they say, and they didn't want to. So the channel's gone.
They always end up.
Yeah,
all these
I don't get to see SmackDown no more.
Wow. Well, do you have the network, the Peacock?
No.
Oh, you don't have Peacock? I was going to say, I'm trying to remember. I think they have to wait a week to air it.
No.
I think Raw and SmackDown both have to be a week delay before they can show them there. Well, I kind of.
And I loved SmackDown because SmackDown was, to me, is better than Raw. Of course, that's my opinion.
That might change
but
now. That might all change.
Yeah,
now.
since the draft and everything. Yeah, that's true.
Not only that, but they're going to finally get a major championship over there. And here's the thing. I mean, I would normally, without question, agree with SmackDown being the superior program. But if Roman isn't going to show up but once every 4 or 5 weeks, not to say you have no other talent on the program, but I mean, he's supposed to be your unified heavyweight world champion, and you hardly ever see the guy.
Well, he's doing kind of like Brock Lesnar, huh?
And I was just going to say,
Brock's now showing up, but before Brock is used to do only pay-per-views and not show up on Raw or SmackDown and stuff.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it, right? And now it's a complete flip and reverse of what it used to be. I mean, the thought that Brock's going to be the guy showing up more often. But he's supposed to be pretty close to calling it a day, if you believe what the guys that apparently know a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes. And then there's also the strong rumor mill about Goldberg going to AEW for this big show in England.
Oh, man.
I can see Tony dropping the money. Yeah, I can see Tony dropping the money.
I'd rather have somebody else than Goldberg. I mean,
we all would. That's the problem. The only one don't realize that is Tony and Goldberg.
I'd settle for Gilbert.
I don't know. He's looking pretty rough nowadays. Not that he looked good before, but no. I mean, Tony just looks at name recognition. Has anyone heard? I gotta look this up. I gotta see what ticket sales are at, because they did a lot better on the first release than I ever thought they were going to.
Oh, there's a chat button. I can't see the chat. Or can I?
No, you should be able to. I think, yeah.
Okay. Well, why not?
Yeah,
okay, I guess I can see the chat.
Ticket sales. Let's go to news. 50,000 pre-sale tickets so far. Wow.
I got quit pushing buttons. Hey, thank you, GHCW.
They have sold 50,000. I'm amazed. But at the same time, I kind of get it. The folks over there don't get big-time wrestling live all that often. And you look what happened with the Castle card over there, and that thing was just a friggin' mega party. Those folks have been starved for a major program to show up. So it doesn't totally surprise me. And then, of course, you have Paige coming back home, so that's going to sell a couple of tickets. I'm going to be curious to see what kind of a reaction she gets when she comes out.
I don't know, but I noticed she's not as good as she used to be.
No.
Wrestling. She kind of looked like, it looks kind of, botchy.
Well, there was a lot of times even before the injury there she looked a little bit botchy. But I see a lot of a tentative side to her, I think, which is understandable. I mean, dealing with what she just dealt with and not wanting to do it again, I can understand, and she's got to be super protective of her neck. But I see a lot of
right
short steps, like she'll come off the ropes and then take like 5 steps when it should only be 2 or something like that, And the bumps, which you would expect.
Of course, that's how I feel about female wrestlers in general, though. To me,
not on Impact.
The only good female wrestlers I have seen personally are the ones from Japan.
Yeah, they're a different style there. I'll give you that. But I think Impact ladies do a much better job in ring than most of the WWE.
I don't know.
roster
I
does.
never. But well, yeah, I agree there. But we don't ever actually get to see them in the ring that much. Or they're too busy doing those. I don't know. I call them dumb skits. The whole James Mitchell doorway to Shadow World and
Man,
all that stuff.
you're either gonna love it or hate it. But I love Rosemary.
Yeah,
That I'm okay with that.
I like her from the
Wouldn't normally
beginning.
be, but I am okay with that. It works for her. Jessica's fucking funny as all hell. That girl's just. I said it before when Ty.
Yeah,
was
but
still
I
with
liked
them.
her better when she was Havoc.
Well, I got a feeling that's coming back around. I think there's going to be a lead into that. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of part of the whole storyline, is that she wasn't supposed to know
Yeah.
she is and all that. It's goofy story writing, but it's okay for that one segment, for that particular group, because it works well for them. And Rosemary and her, and when Taya was with them, I kept saying, man, y'all are missing the boat. You got your own YouTube channel. There should be a 30-minute sitcom every week featuring those three doing something stupid. And it could be with the Realm. It could be going shopping. I don't care. But they are so perfectly and even now that it's down to 2, I was worried about when Taya left, but it still works, even with just the 2 of them.
Was Taya left then? I mean, I know she was at AEW, but I thought she was like a free agent. She can go wherever she wants.
No, she is signed.
I didn't know she
She's
actually.
all elite.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
She is all elite. Jay, what's up, man? Click on a link. You can jump in.
Hey, Jay.
Where is it? Grab this here.
So what's this talking about here? This Amendment 1. I missed the beginning of this.
All right, yeah. So anybody that's joined in late, hold on a second while I paste this. All right, there's the link if anybody wants to jump in here to the chat. I'm going to say it's another channel, but it's not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Rumble. And it's going to be... I'm trying to separate, the wrestling stuff that I put here on YouTube from the political stuff that I've been injecting into the stuff here on YouTube, because I get that a lot of people come here to watch the wrestling stuff we do and all that kind of stuff, and maybe don't want politics. Maybe this is their escape from the world of politics and stuff like that. So I don't want to be force feeding it to people, and I feel like that's kind of been the route it's been going. So this other channel is going to be something completely different, and we are joined by the one and only J-Rocks. Say hello,
What's
Jay.
up?
Sup?
Hello, Jay. Hello, Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck kind of reminds me of the first time you came on this channel, man. Got that same similar background going on there, and
Right.
y'all sporting the same look there. Yeah, I see some resemblances.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I got to grow it out now, otherwise I don't fit. One of these things is not like the other.
Oh, there you are.
I don't know where Chuck's at, but I know for me it's a Midwest thing.
The Midwest thing.
Yep.
Well, Chuck's over. Where'd you say, Oklahoma?
It's a yeah, it's Oklahoma,
Oklahoma.
but this really is to
All right.
hide the double chin thing.
Ah,
yeah, I got that too.
Neil. Twins. There we go. So anyway,
So you're starting another channel, huh?
yes or no? I mean, it won't be on YouTube though. It's going to be on Rumble.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to be where I'm going to be
Rumble?
directing. Yeah, rumble.com. It's like YouTube.
Let's
only
get
there's a
ready
lot
to
more freedom.
rumble.
Rumble
Oh,
freedom
okay.
over there. They don't.
I never heard of it.
squash you for- yeah, it's a newer, and a lot of people are starting to, especially doing political stuff, because man, YouTube will just squash the crap out of you if you're a right winger. They will just silence you. They will keep your videos from being seen. I mean, you got to go out of your way to find some of
There's
these
a
people's
camera
stuff
on
that they
this.
upload. Yeah, and Rumble's got a lot more
There's a
freedom as to
camera.
what you can
Okay.
show, what you can talk about, and so anyway. And I also wanted to have a separate location where the wrestling will be here, and we'll keep it to wrestling, and then that channel over there is going to be
So
more based on. Plus, it'll give me another outlet if
Put a camera.
YouTube decides to squash me again on this channel,
Right.
which I've been there before. But as I mentioned earlier, I just found out today that
Hey, I
with
wonder if I
Rumble,
should-
you have to have at least 5
That's over
people
here.
following you. So here it is. If I
Okay.
get it here, let me copy that. Oops. So I'm going to put the link in here if you guys want to jump over.
No, that didn't very well.
What's that? Ooh, you just spun out, man.
Sorry, guys.
There is the. There is the
Yeah,
address you can go to.
they got the camera in the weirdest angle on this tablet.
Oh, you're on a tablet, so it's a built-in camera.
Get it right. There we go. Close enough. Yeah, I guess I'll hold it down. My beard's all messed up. I didn't comb it.
That's why I shaved mine. I ain't got to worry about that.
I'm too lazy right now to shave, so that's why I still got mine.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Jay, did you watch Impact last night?
Yeah,
To see Trent?
this will be gone when it gets hotter. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I have not got to see Impact yet. I was finishing up schoolwork last night till the wee hours in the morning, so.
Look at him. He's a good student.
Got to keep that. The first time in my life I've ever had a 4.0. I ain't going to let that go. So,
I could say
Hey,
something.
just
But
go.
just go in the house. Welcome aboard, man. Yesterday was.
So what
Monday.
happened? So what happened on? I was going to say what happened on Impact.
Nothing spectacular. Trinity made her debut.
Oh yes, I
And-
didn't see that, but I did catch clips of it on social media. So
Yeah, it was pretty underwhelming.
really,
Yeah, Chuck and I both pretty much agree that it wasn't living up to the fanfare and that her outfit is atrocious.
Yeah, definitely.
is she still doing the neon stuff then?
Not really, but kind of trying to. It didn't have the glow effect that she's had in the past.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Okay. Well, they are working on a
I think
smaller
it's probably-
budget there than WWE. So.
Yeah,
We're talking
yeah,
about blacklighting.
exactly.
Well, that ain't expensive. Blacklighting's simple. Every teenager had a black light in his bedroom for the posters.
Right.
But like I was
Did
telling
she
Chuck-
actually wrestle then?
No, it was all just letting everyone know that she's there,
No.
blah, blah, blah. Then Deanna came out and confronted her and said, well, just know that if you do try to come at me, you're not going to be able to just walk away like you've done in the past.
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah, it was that kind of thing. And then Jordan came out, and then it was a 3-way banter, and nothing happened.
Well, I always liked her ring work. I thought when she started as part of the Funkadactyls, from that point to when she did leave the company, she did improve quite a bit. I mean, she's solid in the ring. So
Yeah. I was watching,
Is it me?
what's that?
I don't hear nobody now.
You don't hear us?
Both you guys just went
he
silent.
done
on
went
me.
and muted himself.
Yeah,
What
we can
is
hear
going
you, man.
on?
I don't know. You might have hit a mute button. You might have. Of course, if you did, you won't hear us. I bet you.
Well,
have a
no,
mute
because
button.
on the StreamYard, I was going to say on StreamYard, if I hit the mic button, it'll mute you hearing me, but I'll still be able to hear
he
you
might
guys.
have hit the mute button. Well, let me see. I should be able to see if he's muted.
Right.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I can't hear either one of y'all right now at all. I can see you perfectly, but I can't hear you.
I don't know. I can
Somebody
hear
put
you.
it in chat.
I can hear you.
Yeah, let's see.
What is going on?
Let's see. Get a piece of paper.
My sound is gone. I can't hear them. What happened?
See if he figures that out.
Setting.
I can't see shit. What does that say?
Wait, what you saying?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Says we can hear
Can't
you,
see
chat.
that yet. Hold on. My button's stuck on something. Oh, whoa, everything went black. What
Can you hear
just
us
happened?
now? Technical
Technology.
glitches. Oh, there he goes.
And for once, it wasn't one of us having that issue.
How about that?
I know, right?
Just go. It's not a matter of going against anyone. The new channel is about dialogue being had. Okay, right now we live in a scenario where everyone is arguing and fighting, and it's getting just ugly by the minute. But that is by design. Yeah. This has all been worked on by the government because they need us fighting with each other. And the reason people are fighting is they're not taking time to talk. Well, the fighting isn't going to change anytime soon because there are too many interested parties that are paying people to make sure there's fights. So the fighting is going to happen. What we need to do is get enough people with the way it used to be. I could have totally different political beliefs from my next door neighbor, and we were still neighbors. We could still talk. Those days are over right now. We need to get back to that with the rational people, the people that can actually have a conversation without screaming over you. And at the end of the day, again, no one's going to really change my point of view. I'm probably not going to change anyone else's point of view. But the thought is that we will at least come to a point where we're going to have some sort of understanding through conversation and see perhaps a different aspect of their... Again, right now what's happening, you see these 12 and 14-year-old boys doing drag shows in front of grown men. There's nothing you will ever say to me that's going to say that's okay. There's nothing that you're ever going to say to me where the parents of that kid shouldn't be in jail right now. But I'll listen to whatever argument you want to make if you would want to make an argument for that behavior. And I will try to absorb the fact that you see this in a real world that you think it's okay. And try to get an understanding.
Well, it's kind of like what I told you on Twitter the other day about my brother, one of the reasons why he quit being a sheriff and a cop was because of something that happened with a teacher at the school that his daughter and another fellow's daughter went to. And the guy was transgender, and the school let him go into the girl's bathroom and he assaulted the guy's daughter. And then the guy wanted to bitch and moan about it. And my brother said, you know what? You voted to allow him to be in there, so it's on you.
Yeah. And this is the stuff that I want to have these conversations about. I just don't want to have them on the YouTube wrestling program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
But I do think
kind of want to separate church and state.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of
although
which,
it's not
Meghan Markle wasn't allowed to go to the coronation.
Oh, really? I missed that part because I was watching some of it this morning while I was making lunch. So
they figured it'd be a distraction. I can't imagine it would be. Wrestling purists in the house. What's up, man? Long time no hear.
What's up?
I'm getting feedback again. Do you have an open mic channel or something?
No.
Like when I talk, I can hear myself. Well, now it's not doing it. Whatever.
Oh.
It's been doing it. Now it just stopped. Okay.
That's funny that they didn't let her be part of that.
Yeah. They figured she was going to be a distraction. Neil, that's the whole point. Everyone will disagree. And there's going to be stuff that people do. Here's the thing I think we're going to find, and I'm not going to mention names right now, but someone in our community that we are all familiar with, and I have had private messages back and forth in the last several days. And this individual, I said, listen, I'm starting this Rumble thing up. I would love to have this conversation here because that's what it's about. We're having it again. He or she's coming from one perspective. I am coming from mine. We're not going to change each other's minds, but this individual has a point of view that's different from mine because of experiences that they've gone through. And by hearing some of these and the reasons why they feel the way they do might open me to other avenues or of thought, okay, or acceptance. Again, nothing this person is going to tell me is going to say 14-year-old boys should be doing drag shows in front of men. Nothing. But I have a funny feeling we'll both agree that that's wrong. And Jay, I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Did we just say that at least it's not us having any of the problems? It showed your microphone was muted. Let me see. Try again. Nothing. You gotta love technology. He'll be right back. All right, Chuck. Well, now Jay just had his act up too, so maybe it's an internet thing. You never know. Technology is so fun. How's it feel, Jay? Yeah. We're used to it, though. We're more surprised when nothing goes wrong. They're silencing us already. Damn, I think they killed Jay. Come on back, Jay. It's all right. Jump on in. The water's fine. Sponsored by 2K. All right. I keep telling you, if you pay,
You try to keep me quiet, but it ain't going to work.
Well, I can hear you now.
Good.
Oh,
It's funny. It's funny that I got on this stream with you about this because honestly, I wrote a paper about this very thing this week. So, and basically it boils down to you got to be able to have a dialogue with people. You can't scream and yell and think you're going to accomplish anything. We didn't yell back in the day. We talked.
Right. We debated.
Yeah. I was part of the debate club. Go figure. I likes to argue. But I'm also one of those that I'm open to listen to somebody else's opinion because I guarantee you there's things about me and some of the stuff like I'm not Christian, I'm pagan. But I know your beliefs, but that don't change that we're friends and stuff like that. At least I hope it don't, but in my eyes that doesn't matter. So,
and honestly, I would have never known that because I always got the vibe off of you that you were of some sort of, whether it's Christian or Catholic, to me, that's all pretty much the same. They all reading from the same book. They might interpret a little bit differently, but I always got the vibe you were, but no, again, to each his own.
Right. But see, that's the thing. It's like I was raised Protestant. and some things happened in my teen years that made me walk away from the church. Now, do I still hold a grudge against the church? No, because I know they are what they are. And I'm old enough to know now that there's good and bad in every religion. So it is
True.
what it is. So, but it's just I'm happier being what I am now. But that, I mean, I still believe that a lot of the Christian stuff is true, but I think there's a little bit of truth in all religions. So, but
Can't argue with that. What do we got going on here?
walk your path.
I'm not Christian in the slightest bit. I have a severe interest in the occult, but I'm not evil or about to sacrifice a goat. Well, then you're going to have
Depends
to turn
on
the
the
card
goat.
in.
I was going to say depends on the goat, because there's times that I wouldn't mind sacrificing LeBron James. I'm just saying.
That wouldn't even count, though.
Oh, according to him, he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But
I don't know that you can be in the occult and not do some sacrifices, though. We had a
Nah.
guy in the hockey league that I used to play in, and he was just a brute, man. He was a big, just rough, and he wasn't the friendliest guy in the world and all that. And one day he wasn't there for the game. We're all done, and our team and the other team are hanging out afterwards having beers. It's like, hey, what happened to Rick tonight? Oh, I think he's sacrificing some animals somewhere.
nah, we love nature.
Tom Brady. Jeez, Neil, you're going down some dark path here. What'd Tom do to you? How many Super Bowls did he take from your team?
Yeah, Neil, you're not going to be able to sacrifice Tom Brady. He's already made his pact with the devil. The devil's got the lock on his soul right here and now. So
Yes, indeed. Now, I don't really watch sports anymore. The only one I even care enough about to keep an eye on what's happening is hockey, because that's always been my game growing up. I played it for 20 years.
Right.
I was an Islander fan growing up, and that was back in the glory days. I stayed an Islander fan up until I forget. I gave up on hockey when they went on their last strike, whatever year that was, and I said, enough is enough with the strikes. I'm done. But
Right.
I know they were in the playoffs, barely made it into the playoffs, did a little bit of damage, and then went out in the first round. Congratulations. Then I find out that the Boston Bruins had the greatest season of all time in NHL history. Everyone knows, if you watch hockey, do not win the President's Cup. You do not want to be the best regular season team. It doesn't end well, ever. And the Bruins lose to the lowly Florida Panthers on home ice in Game 7. And it just reminds me of the other New England tragedy of when Tom Brady and the Patriots were a perfect record going into the Super Bowl against my Giants at the time. And then, oops. It's got to be tough to be a Boston fan. It really does. Because, yeah, you've had some glory years, but boy, those other ones hurt bad.
Can say the same thing about Chicago's two teams too. So
yeah, Chicago's had their ups and downs too, but I would say more downs than ups.
Yeah,
I mean, you had the Chicago Bulls, of course.
My dad's a Cleveland fan, so go Browns. But they didn't do too bad last year. Neither did Cincinnati. So
Neil brings up a really good point here. Jacksonville Jaguars were his team, or are his team rather. But used to be a Rams fan until they traded cities, and that's something else too.
Yeah,
why I got out of sports. If you're not trading cities, you're constantly trading players.
Yeah.
Why am I going to feel a connection to the team when they're only going to be around for 6 months and then it's a whole new team every year?
Yep.
And that's exactly how it felt. I mean, back in the day growing up, I was a Yankee fan. I could tell you the lineup, all 9 spots, every year because it didn't change much. You knew Greg
Yeah.
Nettles was going to be there. You knew Bucky Dent was going to be there. You knew Reggie Jackson was going to be there. Ron Guidry, the whole. I can still do it because that was your team. Thurman Munson, that was your team, and it was going to be your team. Yeah, you get a rookie here, and then one guy might leave eventually. When Reggie left, we lost our fucking minds.
Right.
Because that just didn't happen back then. But now, holy shit, don't get attached to nobody.
Yep.
I mean, being here in Orlando, what Shaquille O'Neal did to the city, holy cow, man. That was like ending a real relationship. I'm trying to find my damn book. Oh, here it is. As a child, he was an Eagles fan. No, none of them are the same team. That's the whole thing. See, as a kid growing up, I didn't find baseball boring. I don't know. I probably should have.
I didn't either. I even played in school and stuff, but I can barely watch it nowadays.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try to. And it's not because it's boring. I just don't care about these people anymore.
Yeah, that's true too.
The lack of loyalty, it makes me not. Why would I be loyal to you if it's not coming back?
Yeah. That's why I couldn't understand how Cleveland put up with all that crap with LeBron and stuff. I'm like, screw that. He walked out on you guys and you wanted bringing back. Fuck that.
You want to know the biggest joke of it all, though? He leaves Cleveland to take his talents to South Beach. They burn his jerseys. He comes back. They buy new ones.
I know. That's what I couldn't understand. I'm like, are you kidding? I hold a grudge. You do something like that to me, it's fucking over. I don't care if you're the second coming of whoever. It don't matter.
I guess he figures his mom, I think, still lives in Cleveland, or at least she did.
Yeah.
I don't know if she still does or not. And my thought is, he grew up in Cleveland and would probably retire, maybe Cleveland. And it'd be hard to be living there if everyone's trying to kill you. So let me go back long enough to bring a championship to this city so that at least I can come back home. Well, today's not an official program for this, but some of the things that we're going to be going over, I guess I need my lights on so I can see this shit. There's stuff that I've been watching too much of, like I said, but it's really stuff that I feel we need to be talking about. People need to be talking about. So if you're not familiar with the deep fake technology that's coming out, that's out. It's not coming out. It is out. And it is extraordinarily alarming what they can do right now. And when I say they, regular people can do this. It's not just like,
oh yeah,
FBI or CIA technology. I mean, anybody can do this. There's a YouTube.
Yeah, we were looking at voice changing technology to make it sound like, Monsoon and shit. So
yep. Well, they also have the face stuff to match it as well. There's this dude who has a TikTok account, TikTok Tom Cruise, and he just recently did a sit down. And I'm going to try and get clips from this video I was watching. He did a sit down interview, and he's alarmed by what someone else, like he did this whole Tom Cruise thing based on how he looks. And he doesn't look a lot like Tom Cruise, but there are definitely resemblances. And when you put the sunglasses on and the whole nine, he can pull it off. Well, a fan took his video and then used the deep fake, and it's fucking Tom Cruise. And he says if a YouTuber can do that and make it look that good, and that was like back in 2018.
Yeah.
He says, you can't believe it used to be. I only believe my eyes. I don't believe what you tell me. I believe my eyes. You can't believe your eyes anymore because when shit starts to happen, and I promise you it's going to, they're going to have all this video to show that so-and-so did this and committed this act. Yeah, maybe it's just that so-and-so that you want out of the picture and you've mapped their face to make it look like they did it. I mean, it's just very frightening stuff and the road we're going down. And it's a conversation, again, that I wanted to have. But I'll put the video clips together so we can do it the right way. Other stuff here, let me see. Oh, this recent event, which I didn't know. I actually did away with news for almost 3 whole days, which for me is record setting.
Wow.
But yeah, it's like a soap opera, man. You miss a day, you miss a lot. So this whole New York Transit thing, I didn't know what was going on. I hear some guy got choked out on the New York Transit. I assumed it was a cop. It's not a cop. It's an ex-Marine. Come to find out, and I'm presuming, if anyone knows the story, please chime in. Are you familiar with this at all, Jay?
No, I've been away from news. I try to stay away from news because I like to have good days. And if I watch the news, it's one thing if I'm discussing. It's one thing if I'm discussing, and it's something else if I'm just watching it, and I can't watch it over and over because
it gets rough.
Yeah.
Well, apparently this African-American guy was on the subway, and the story that I've heard so far is that he was being a first-rate piece of shit, and whether he was assaulting people or he was doing something inappropriate to get the attention of this Marine who choked him out. I think he's dead. I'm not sure. Anyone knows? Let me know here. What do we got here? We're back to football on that topic. YouTube, Joel Omegle. Yeah, there's a lot of YouTuber guys doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the guy ended up dead. I could be wrong, though. Maybe he's not. And now they've arrested the Marine because it's New York. And one of the things they were talking about on the local news here on the radio that I was listening to is they brought up the name of Bernard Goetz, which most of you probably won't remember him. But back in 1984, Bernard Goetz was on a subway in New York. 4 black guys started attacking him, trying to rob him, pulled out a gun, shot all 4 of them. They all lived. One of them will be paralyzed.
Was that 84?
Yeah, right? That's what I said when I...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because I was still living there, so it had to be. But anyway, he shot all 4 of them. Well, New York, you're not allowed to have a gun. You're not allowed to defend yourself in New York.
Right.
So automatically, he ends up getting arrested, and he ends up being convicted. Granted, he only served 6 months, but you shouldn't be serving 6 months for defending yourself against 4 attackers in this country. And here's this guy. Again, the evidence isn't all out yet, but I'm feeling pretty damn confident. The video I have seen is the guy that was choked out, who may or may not be dead. I don't know. The guy who was choked out in the recent past, maybe a month or 2 ago, I'm not sure how old the video is. He looks at pretty much the same age. On a subway platform, shoves a lady from behind, head first into the stopped train. Had that train been moving or not there, she's dead.
Yeah.
But she bounced off of this train when she hit, completely blindsided her. So what we know is he's a piece of shit. There's no reason for me to think he wasn't a piece of shit when the Marine took him down.
Right.
The Marine is a guy with a code of conduct and ethics who's served our country, as opposed to this piece of shit who shouldn't be loose to begin with.
See, I'm from the camp of fuck around and find out. If you're going to do something like that, you deserve what you fucking get. Plain and simple. It's called karma. That dude probably did that kind of shit all over New York, and it just finally fucking caught up to him. Well, he did it one too many fucking times, and that was it.
And again, when we do this stuff on the channel, I'm gonna have the homework done. I will know if the guy is dead or not. I'll have more information. We'll have video clips and stuff like that, and then it's going to be an open forum at that point. Anyone wants to jump in and have an opinion.
And Chuck, you're right, because I know guys that I told you, Vince, I lived up there for about 2.5 years. I bounced in the bars when I lived up there. One of the guys that trained me to be a bouncer was 5'0", but he was an ex-Navy SEAL. people find out real quick when they fuck with somebody, you just might not get what you think you're getting.
Yeah, I would venture to say if there was an official statistic ever kept, I would say probably 6 out of 10 guys that pick a fight end up picking one that they thought they were going to win
Mm-hmm.
and probably didn't. And nowadays is the worst time to pick a fight with someone you don't know because there are so many of these MMA train. Even if you're not in the octagon, people are taking the classes. They are learning the techniques and the science behind it. It ain't like the old days where you put up your dukes.
No, you catch a spin kick to the side of the head, you'll fucking know it.
Sure do. And that brings me to one of the other
Well,
things.
when you wake up, you'll know it.
If you wake up.
Yeah, that's true too.
One of the other things on my list, there has been this increase I've noticed of women that don't understand what equal rights means. It means equal rights and equal lefts. If you're going to hit a guy, be ready to get your ass kicked.
I have a story for that, but if you want, I'll save it for the channel. So
yeah, because I got plenty of video. But don't think the old days of, oh, you can't hit me, I'm a girl. The fuck I can't. If you hit me, I'm hitting you back.
Hey, like I said, I got a story. I felt bad after it happened, but in the moment, she deserved what she got. And I'm just leave it at that.
Neil, I thought about it, buddy. I did. But again, some of the stuff that I can't show some of the video. Like Twitter will allow nudity, which I don't agree with it, but they do.
You're right.
Rumble, I got to do a little bit of more experimenting. I mean, I'm not looking to post nudity anyway, but the fact of the matter is there are certain platforms. There are certain, well, I mean, Jay is having one of those funny days. We might, No? Okay. We'll see how much that.
It's bad enough. It's bad enough when I go to a pet store to buy a collar and a leash, and they ask me what breed I got, and I have to show them a picture of the girl that I was with. So we'll just leave it there.
There you go. I got to show them a picture of my ex.
Yeah.
But I really, from a content perspective, and the fact that I don't want to be squashed, and the fact that I just want to keep it completely separate. And I also want to establish something off of YouTube because I already have one strike on this channel, which will go away in June.
Right.
But it was for something that was almost a year old. And if I wanted to fight it, I would have probably won. But who wants to deal with that shit? And I've already had 2 channels on YouTube get shut down in similar fashion. So at least this way, everybody would already know where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you saying that because I kind of did think about it for a little bit. Yeah, if you don't have somebody's background in mind, then yeah, you don't want to pick that fight.
Right.
But I see all these videos of these girls that just go up and open hand smash a guy upside the head. First they like shove them and this and that, and you son of a this and you that, and, blah, 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 and then smack. And once in a while they're like, "Bitch, don't do it again," and then smack again, and then boom, knock her out. And she wants to be like, "Oh, you can't hit me! I'm like, fuck off with that shit."
You fight like a dude, you get taken down like a dude.
Just go, buddy. I can show you video of a girl that kicked some guy's ass, man, and wasn't like some little scrawny guy. This girl was trained, and man, oh man, she got him in that guillotine, took him down and out, had him tapping like a bitch. I'm pretty sure he had to switch schools after that because that's a tough one to live down, man.
Nah, Chuck, I used to get picked on in school. So I would hire the biggest guy in school to be my bodyguard. That's where my lunch money went.
Remember that movie, My Bodyguard?
Yes, I do. Yep. Bad part about it is one of my brothers, he had a chick as his bodyguard, and I wouldn't have messed with her. She looked like China in 8th grade.
So, Hooper, you bring up a good point, man. Me and my dad is like such a liberal. It makes me sad. He's a very,
Same
very
here.
well-educated individual. I mean, the guy's books. My mother used to
Yeah.
always say this about him before the divorce or after the divorce. What am I saying? She says it to this day. But she says, your father is book smart, but he's stupid. And I never really saw it until the last 5 years. But yeah, she's right. But you said, I told him, I said, these sons of bitches, I'll drive through them. I will
Yeah.
fucking drive through them. There's no way in hell that you're.
And if you hang on, you better have a good grip because I'm going to hit about 60 on the highway and you're going to come flying off.
It's like all this shit about, they're peacefully No. There are people that might have to get to a fucking doctor.
No shit. Right.
Or, hey, here's the thought. The rest of us have jobs. So you don't have a right to stop people's lives. Yeah, today over in Florida here, they went into Governor DeSantis' office and had a peaceful protest where they just sat down in the office and blocked they have almost like a jury gate, like in a courtroom. And
right.
They didn't evict them. They didn't pick them up, throw them out or anything. Let them sit. But when the cop had to open the gate to let people come into work and nobody wanted to move, he just shoved that son of a bitch open and kept shoving it. And they kept sitting there and all that. Let the people in, let them keep sitting there.
Did you ever see the video or hear the story about the group that protested? I can't remember which German car company it was, but they went into a factory and chained themselves to like the assembly line and shit, and said they weren't going to go or anything like that. So the higher ups who ran the factory said, okay, fine, stay. They went, turned off all the heat, and then wouldn't let them go to the restroom or anything. Said, nope, you want to protest? This is what you get. I guess they were all freezing because it was like the dead of winter over there. I'm like, yeah, do that shit.
Do that shit. The other thing that we'll be talking about is what's going on with Tucker Carlson. And I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of his. I'm becoming one now. Again, I stopped watching Fox News on election night because of what they did. Okay. The minute they announced Arizona 5 minutes after polls closed, I said, damn it, they're in with everybody else. They're bought and paid for.
Right.
My mother didn't want to hear that because she loves her Fox News and she stuck with it. And I said, well, you're watching the enemy, but you do what you got to do. I'm sticking with Newsmax.
Right.
Now her golden child Tucker gets fired. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Why don't you ever listen to me? And Tucker right now, the rumor is he's going to tell them to go fuck themselves on the contract and just go to work somewhere. The original thought was he was going to take that contract money, but he'd have to sit on the sidelines through the election.
Like a non-compete clause for wrestling.
They've been trying so hard to smear him with a bunch of crap that people are just poking holes all over it. That's not right. That's not in context. That doesn't even matter that he said that. But they're trying so hard to smear him so that no one will hire him. What they're doing is making him more and more desirable to the public.
Right.
Okay, this is not Dylan Mulvaney trying to sell you a Bud Light. Oh, I don't know what sport it is, but hey, it's a cause to celebrate. Fucking little piece of shit. So we'll talk about.
And even if he don't go work for an actual company, he could start his own like podcast or something and probably go through the roof and shit like that.
He would. Trump apparently has already spoken to him. I can see Donald starting up his own network. I can totally see that happening because of everything that has happened and the lack of true free press that exists. And he knows it better than anybody.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised to see people like Kayleigh McEnany come along. By the way, she's going to be filling in Tucker's spot next week. It hurts me not to support her and watch her because I love her to death. But I will not watch Fox News ever again. I stopped watching them, like I said, back in November. I haven't gone back to them once. I'm not going to start now.
Right.
Yeah, Fox News has become the new CNN. Their ratings right now in the 8 o'clock time slot that Tucker had over 3 million people a night watching, they went down 48% in the first 2 days.
Damn.
Those are Bud Light numbers.
Yeah.
Those are Bud Light numbers. People need to wake up, man. We ain't playing. And it's about damn time that the right has finally started doing something together. What are you fucking us up with friggin' wrestling news for when we busy over here talking Tucker?
And what's it? In 1 minute, they're coming on at 6:30.
Yeah, they have an early start tonight. I think it's Tony's
Really?
bedtime. Yeah, it's Tony's bedtime
Oh.
early. No,
He's
there
been
must
up
be
too
some-
late here recently.
Oh, it's because of hockey.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
That's right. They got the hockey games on, and they got the contract with TBS, I guess it is.
Yeah.
So there's
Wow.
that.
I was just looking at the clock and I'm going, God damn, that's early for Rampage. We can't do shit in prime time with Rampage, so now we got to go to like the afternoon time slot.
That's okay, Chuck. I was just fucking with you, man. It's all good. All right. Once again, I'm putting the link up here for the Rumble account. It's also in the description box down below. If you're watching this thing later on, or you don't want to have to type it in, you can just click on it down there. All I need you to do is follow me. I got to get 5 followers here. Let me refresh this and see if it's changed any. We're up to 2. Yay!
Well, as soon as we're done, I'll go over to it and click, so you'll have 3 there.
There's 3. All right, we're almost there. And after that, we can start streaming and we'll get some other people, I'm sure, to join on. So, all right. Well, that all said, I'm not going to watch hockey. I was thinking about I might watch a little bit of hockey since it's on regular TV, but fuck them. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch. I was mentioning earlier that I fast forwarded through most of Impact last night because I had to go to bed early and I wanted to see Trinity,
Right.
which was not worth the fast forward effort. But it looked like there might have been a couple of decent matches, so I want to go back and watch what I missed last night. So I think that's going to be the game plan.
There you
We're
go.
going to be doing more of these at the movie things and kind of the same way we're doing. So just so you guys know, when Jay and I do the movie, we're on the same platform we're on now. We're just not live streaming.
Right.
And I'm able to play it here on my computer and feed in, and we just watch the movie. So what we'll be doing moving forward, if anyone wants to actually watch the film with us, we'll let you know when it's going to happen. You'll have to hit me up, though. I can't live stream, obviously. So you'll have to hit me up on Twitter where I can send you the stream link, and then you can jump in and watch it with us. So I'll give you a little bit of notice as soon as we have a date and a time set for it, and then you get your popcorn and peanuts ready and whatever beverage you so desire. And there you go.
And you can watch these god awful wrestling movies with these wrestlers in it, and wonder what the hell I do with 2 hours of my life.
There's really only been one that was horrible.
That's true.
And that was the one with the chicks.
Yeah. Yeah, that was god awful.
I mean, that was a special kind of bad. Wow, bad. But even the Hogan one, it had a good half hour. That was not bad.
Yeah.
That kind of the act 2 went on a little too damn long. But the fact that it had any moments at all, I wasn't expecting that.
Right.
So, but we also have a couple of good ones here on the shelf. I mean, there's some stuff here that I think is going to be actually really good. There's one I'm looking forward to I haven't seen yet. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us here this fine afternoon. Jump over to Amendment 1. Hit the follow button. I don't know what's required of that. I guess you might have to set up a Rumble account, but it's free. Won't cost you a nickel. Just like setting up a YouTube account, no different.
Okay.
And then hit the follow button. Okie dokie, Smokies. I think that's going to wrap us up for this time out here. And as always, say goodnight, Jay.
Good night, Jay.
He does that so well. I got him trained. I'll see you guys all real soon right here on the Nation Network. Until then, so long.